How bilingualism shields your brain. Topic preview. Audio and captions begin shortly. What if the words you speak were building a physical shield inside your mind? Learning a new language is a powerful brain workout, bulking up gray matter for lasting structural resilience. Once you stop translating and start thinking directly in that new tongue, you're creating a neural reserve. This hidden strength can delay aging symptoms by nearly 5 years, proving that a bilingual brain is truly built for the long haul.
Welcome to today's deep dive. If you've ever tried to learn a new language and felt like your brain was doing mental gymnastics, well, you're going to want to hear this.
Yeah, it really is a workout.
Today we are looking at two really fascinating sources. We've got an excerpt from a research paper called The Bilingual Shield and a transcript from a language program called English for Your Mind.
Right. And our mission today is to explore how language learning literally, physically rewires your brain.
Exactly. Specifically, we're comparing the initial structural changes you see during intensive second language acquisition.
Which is mostly gray matter changes, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Comparing that right alongside the long-term white matter resilience found in lifelong bilinguals.
It's a remarkable transformation to look at. We're essentially mapping the journey from the very first time you try to string a foreign sentence together all the way to those long-term neuroprotective benefits.
The benefits of speaking two languages every single day.
Ex-
So, okay, let's unpack this beginner phase for a second. According to our sources, studying a language isn't just, filling up a mental filing cabinet.
No, not at all.
It is a literal physical workout for your brain.
Yeah, it's driven by neuroplasticity. When you dive into intensive study, you're actually increasing the density and the volume of your gray matter.
Wait, so the physical brain actually gets thicker?
It does. It thickens the specific parts of your cortex that decode sounds and find meaning. You're basically taking your brain to the gym to bulk up those processing centers.
And just like the gym, that initial workout comes with a lot of sweat and struggle.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I still remember freezing up in high school Spanish, trying to order a coffee. I was frantically translating every single word in my head before even opening my mouth.
Yeah, that mental freeze is a perfect example of what researchers call lexical competition.
Lexical competition.
Right. In a beginner's brain, both your native language and the new language are constantly active, and they're competing for attention.
So the new language is leaning heavily on the native one.
Totally dependent on it for meaning, yeah. You're using your native tongue as a mental middleman. It takes a lot of time and practice for the brain to build efficient neural paths that connect foreign sounds directly to their underlying concepts.
So that covers the initial heavy lifting, the bulking up of the gray matter.
Right.
But how does that compare to someone who has been speaking two languages their entire life?
Well, that distinction is where the research gets incredibly compelling. People who have practiced speaking two languages daily since childhood go way beyond just bulking up their gray matter.
They get into the white matter.
Exactly. Lifelong practice significantly increases the integrity of their white matter.
And we should clarify for you listening, white matter is basically the brain's communication network, right?
Think of it as the literal highways connecting different regions. Lifelong bilingualism keeps those connection highways incredibly robust.
Especially in the frontal lobe.
Yes, the area managing our focus, problem solving, and attention.
Because of the constant mental juggling. I mean, a bilingual person never really turns a language completely off.
No, they have to constantly monitor the situation, select the right language, and suppress the other one.
So the brain's executive control network is getting nonstop intensive training.
Precisely. And that doesn't just help with language. It trains you to concentrate better, ignore distractions, and switch tasks much more efficiently in everyday life.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. How does this everyday task switching translate into that long-term resilience our sources mentioned?
Well, all this gray and white matter conditioning leads to a phenomenon called neural compensation.
Neural compensation.
Yeah, because the bilingual brain is so used to efficiently routing around competing languages and managing those robust white matter highways, it becomes incredibly skilled at working around physical damage.
And this is where the PT scans come in.
Right. The sources highlight PET scan studies involving bilingual patients with Alzheimer's disease. The scans show much higher metabolic connectivity in their executive control networks compared to monolinguals.
Meaning they are actively using those intact networks to bypass the neurodegeneration happening elsewhere in their brains.
They are. And the real-world result is that bilingual individuals with Alzheimer's actually outperform monolingual patients on memory and spatial tasks.
Even when their brains show more physical damage from the disease.
Exactly. They've built a superior ability to compensate for structural loss.
It's a literal bilingual shield. I think scientists refer to it as a cognitive reserve.
Yes, and the numbers from the paper are staggering.
They really are. This reserve actually delays the clinical onset of Alzheimer's and dementia symptoms by about 4.5 to 5 years.
Which just goes to show that the effort you put into learning and maintaining a language pays dividends far beyond just communication.
So whether you are intensely studying a new language right now to bulk up your gray matter, or you're utilizing lifelong bilingualism to preserve those white matter highways.
You are actively building a physically stronger, more resilient brain.
Absolutely.
Which leaves us with an important question for you to think about. If the simple, lifelong act of juggling two languages can physically rewire our white matter to bypass the effects of neurodegenerative diseases, what other everyday mental struggles might secretly be building hidden neural shields in our brains right now?
Hi, thanks for watching. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.